Cunninghams. What's up, gentlemen? Hey, hey, hey. So I'm going to start it off with the Cunninghams and A. Martin. You guys, I honestly feel like you have played some great tanks thus far this season, and I was very excited for your match versus Nerve, but that didn't go well for you. What happened, man? And what has that done to your team and to your confidence? Are you still feeling like you're able to deliver at the highest level?
We were missing two guys who we find really important to us, which kind of sucked, and we're also having some lag issues. I had to pass the call off to another player in 2 of the matches because I just lagged out. So,
so what you're saying is you're not impressed with Nerve, and if you played him again, it'd be 3-0 and you would win.
Nerve is definitely the toughest opponent we've played so far, by far.
So I was giving you a chance to throw some punches there, man.
No.
Okay.
Well,
All
still
right.
punches at the other 2 guys. But.
Fair enough. Now your opponent tonight is Strike. Have you prepared anything special for us? What can we expect to see out of your team this evening? That's
You might see a little different look than you've seen in the first 3 matches.
Okay, so.
All right.
You might not like that, though.
We might not like it, though.
Spoiler alert. All right, hey Martin, I'm going to give you a chance to give some menacing words to your opponent. What message do you have for Strike?
Nice hat.
Very, very menacing. It's very intimidating.
I feel intimidated.
Well, you should feel intimidated. He just questioned the power of hat.
You can't question the power of hat. You should know. I've seen you wear a hat before. It's very powerful.
All right, so on to White May, my friend. Strike is in a position where you guys must win tonight. Have you planned anything special for the Cunninghams?
Well, I didn't prepare really special for it.
Okay. Now, Las Vegas is a distant thought for both the teams in this match. You're going to have to win more than just this next battle. But how important is it to you guys to make it to Las Vegas?
Well, we just have fun to play. We don't really hope we can go to Las Vegas.
All right, fair enough. Well, White May, you have an opportunity to challenge your opponent. What words do you have for the Cunninghams?
Well, have fun tonight.
All right. Strike, I do believe you guys are the higher seeds, so you can call the coin flip.
I choose head.
Heads is the call. And heads it is. You can choose the map or you can defer and choose the spawn position.
I will choose Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf is the map. Cunninghams can choose which side to play.
Let's go with the north.
Himmelsdorf North. Himmelsdorf North. North. There's a TH at the end of that. For the Cunninghams, good luck, guys. Jump into tank selection. We'll see you in about 3 minutes. Thanks so much. And here we go. We're going to take a quick look at the tank lineup for these 2 sides. We sort of predicted it. We got a couple 5100s, an IS-3 and 2 T-69s out for Strike, and a couple 5100s and 3 IS-3s out for the Cunninghams. That is a very meaty lineup for the Cunninghams. It makes sense since bigs are meaty.
Yep. And for the other side, Strike. I mean, 2 5100s, IS-3 T-69. That's a little bit lighter, wouldn't you say?
Lighter and lots of real bursty damage potential if they can get all their tanks involved in a fight at the same time. Cunninghams are immediately setting up what looks to be a pretty defensive sort of a stance. We see this kind of formation occasionally from Simp, but Simp often also sends teams up or sends a few tanks up the hill.
Yep.
To get a little bit more control over things.
Well, it does look like Strike is going to send 4 and that T1. I wonder how Cunninghams will react with such a, I'd say, conservative lineup here. They are very close to their flag, and it looks like their only 1 heavy tank is going to head towards the hill. Oh, they're not going to sit right next to their cap. They're deciding to head towards the west, which could be very strong. They are splitting their forces quite a bit here. In a real brawl, I would not give the advantage to the Cunninghams right now. I don't feel like they come out on top, especially if this this heavy tank in the north goes down.
Good spotting by Caster Starwind has alerted the Cunninghams to the presence of Strike up on that hill. And how are they going to respond to this? Caster Starwind's going to get blasted, but he has served his purpose and spotted the entirety of Strike's team up on that hill. I would think that Cunninghams would use this as an opportunity to advance down the 3 line, but it looks like instead they're going to continue to sit back and play somewhat passively.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused like this. If you know your enemy's on the hill, it's time to make something happen. They could send a heavy tank and the remaining light off to their enemy's cap, maybe to try and do some 1v1s over there with the tier 8s and have the T1 pressure the cap at the same time. In the meantime, what would happen is they could begin to try and engage these 4 tanks up on the hill, or they could send their entire force to the hill right now and just try and make it a straight up fight. Cunningham's trying to be better in the brawl, but they don't appear to be that confident.
Yeah, this is a very defensive formation as Cunningham's now able to pick off able to pick off Great Ivan, and evening up the also picking off Patton. Ooh. So both the scouts for Strike have been removed from the game. It's going to mean that Strike has to play this pretty blind. There is a single heavy tank, a single 5100, or maybe it's an IS-3, yep. Still sitting back on Strike's flag, and that should have no issues stopping A. Martin from the old counter cap, as we do see a fight starting to unfold here on the red side of the map.
Yep. White May did get a few solid shots on Fontaka, so a little advantage in health for the entire team, but you have to remember that Cunninghams do have 1 extra tank on this side of the map. They have a whole heavy tank, while Strike's got, who is that in the south all alone?
For Strike, that is going to be, for Strike, it's the,
is that
Borgata? Borgata, maybe?
Oh,
yeah,
he's all alone. He does kill the T1 here, and now he's, Cunningham should realize the kind of advantage they have, and it looks like they're going to push it.
And that's exactly what we are seeing right now. Silent Demise and King Kong on the flank. White May is very exposed in this alley. He's got, oh no, his back is turned. Last Burn and White May both incredibly exposed to the flank of Silent Demise and King Kong. And Last Burn taking some heavy damage. He will fall to the next big shot he takes. White May is trying to turn out some damage of his own. Meanwhile, Silent Demise, King Kong are now surrounded by the T69 Megamino, whatever, and Knight Armament. And surprisingly great play out of these 2 IS-3s who just aren't taking damage, and they're dealing tons of it.
Well, all of these autoloaders are reloading, but Megumio should be reloaded. Knight's Armament should be reloaded just now.
Wow, Silent Demise doing a great job getting off 1 more shot before he ducks behind the corner. And here comes the cavalry. Commander J and the 5100 going to jump right behind Knight's Armament, and will make short work of that T69. And these IS-3s proving their worth tenfold, just not taking any real damage. That is unbelievable. Borgata, the last man standing. He is in an IS-3, so I suppose it's possible that he kills everybody.
But he is ammo racked right now. Nope, he uses his kit, and he will be able to fight a little bit longer, but no chances for him, I don't think, unless he's able to ammo rack both Silent and King Kong here. Nope, very good job, King Kong, turning Borgata's turret. Now Borgata has little to no chance.
Silent Demise picks up the kill with the ram, and the Cunninghams taking the first point on Himmelsdorf. Very nicely played out of the Cunninghams. And we are seeing exactly what we discussed. South side making a mad dash to play the hill game. The north side taking control of the lighthouse. We'll take a quick look at the tanks. We can see 5100s and a couple T32s for Strike. T69 and 1390s rounding out the Cunningham's lineup.
That is a pretty interesting choice here. 1390, T32s, 5100. I'd say that's a pretty cool lineup from Strike here. I'd love to see how those T32s play out. Borgata and Megumio, if they can be proper battle buddies in this one.
Oh, Megamino already taking a lot of damage. He takes 2 big volleys. He's dropped 500 hit points already. I think that's Commander J. Wow, Commander J again lands a shot Megumino down to 600 hit points and has to give up his position behind that rock, and right away, the choice to take that T-32, you know, thrown into question.
Yeah.
As that tank is basically no good in a brawl anymore.
Well, they'd have to make him work really well in a hold down, or somehow get into a great face-to-face face-hugging there with a T-32. Other than that, I mean, Megumio really unfortunate getting himself out of the position, just getting caught in the open, not in any kind of hold-down position. He should have been able to see that kind of the 1390 flank coming. This is it's so common to get spotted like that on your way out. I think just a lack of commitment to forward or not at all kind of decision there.
Yeah. I love the 1390 as a bit of an answer to T-32s, and here's why. One, it's really the only one reason that I think we're going to need is the massive mobility advantage you have with that 1390. 6-shot clip means that it can kind of squabble when it has to, but for the most part, 1390s are able to just sort of run everywhere that a T-32 isn't, and then take advantage with their better camo and their lower profile. Yeah,
mobility is such a huge factor in all of these games. I know I've seen a few 1390s play very well on mines before, and their mobility alone has won matches. You can get from one side of the map, let's like C0, all the way to like F1 in a minute. And right there, that is so crucial to being able to take control of a map. We're seeing White May right here be very flexible. He just rolls right off the hill. He's going to go make sure Great Ivan gets into whatever position he's going to safely. You want to escort your T1s, and you want to cover them. So it's very common to use a 1390 being so mobile to escort them out there, and then keep them safe, take down any T1s that would contest Great Ivan's movement, and guarantee his safety into a passive spot, which will be, I believe, about 50 meters in front of Great Ivan. There's a good bush he might run up to here. And he'll avoid it in favor of, there's another bush about 100 meters forward of him now in about C8, which he will be going to. I think he's taken a bit of a sketchy route here. He might get spotted and destroyed. Oh, he's going backfield. Very aggressive T1 play here out of Great Ivan. Strike is going to go and try to take some huge map control with this T1.
Yeah, but he wants to get some vision on the other team. He wants to say, hey, where are the Cunninghams? And he is going to be spotted by Caster Starwin and killed by Caster Starwin. And, well, all he really achieved in that was alerting his teammates to the position of a single T1.
Yeah, that was a little too aggressive right there as Great Ivan. Very bold move, and it could have paid off. Unfortunately, none of Strike was in position to support any kind of spotting that he had, as I believe we saw White May pull back as Great Ivan began to push up, but now White May is moving into a forward position. He is going to try and passive spot this northern portion of the map. Cunninghams looks to be a little bit further to the west, though, and they are on that pedestal, that raised little portion of A4. They're going to have great shots on any assault coming from the east.
Patton has found a Martin on the bottom half of the map, and he's taken a little bit of damage in the exchange. Also got his engine busted up a little bit. He's going to be extremely slow.
Yeah, that could cost him, because T1 fights often can be kind of a corner game thing. One T1 will go forward and put out a few shots, and then try and back up as quickly as he can to force the other T1 to miss. And if the other T1 is a little bit too greedy, he might spew out all of his shots, and then Patton could go back forward. But Patton's going to go out in the open, and A. Martin's just going to take him down.
Cunningham's doing a great job taking advantage of the two donations, those two T1 donations that Strike was so ably willing to give up.
How polite.
Indeed. And you know, the great play here from Cunninghams is blinding their opponent. The problem is they're still a little bit short-handed in. No, excuse me. Cunninghams is in a phenomenal position if they wanted to push and fight, because they have the benefit of hit points.
Yes, exactly. And with that benefit of hit points, I mean, Megumio being down to just under 600 hit points, I mean, what Cunninghams needs to do to drive this victory home is they need to force a fight, try and get all of Strike's tanks occupied, and then after occupying them, just putting those two remaining T1s on cap. A. Martin being the leader of this team, probably is beginning to realize that because these two T1s are down, and he has a great position on the flank. He's all the way out in, what is that? Is that J3, I believe I last saw him?
Yeah, looks like we are going to see a little bit more movement out of the Cunninghams. Andre, how are you seeing it from your side of the map?
White May has gone into a completely defensive position, but it's weird. It's sort of defensive, but they're so spread out. It's similar to what we saw previously with who were the two teams? It was
I think you're talking about Refuse to Die versus Fulcrum
yes,
on the north side of this map.
It just flipped over. We can see as we go to my screen real quick, Megumino and Borgata are down right below the hill, similar to how it was previously. Can I go to my screen real quick?
Thank you.
There we go.
And then we have the other two team members that, you know, they can support, but if there's any remnants of hill control, you don't have a good retreat path for these two tanks. And these two tanks over here are actually forced, they're committed to just hiding behind cover. It gives you no offensive capabilities, and frankly, defensively, they're not that great either.
Yeah.
Now, the Cunninghams have taken over the southwestern portion of the map. Strike perfectly poised to respond to any kind of crazy capture attempt, but we have to keep in mind that they are still...
Oh, A. Martin does get spotted here, and White May is on the hill, so he may have proper shots. Borgata and Megumio may not have the right shots.
That's great spotting by A. Martin, though. He's lit up Megumino once again, which is exposing him to a little bit of extra fire. It'll only take 2 or 3 shots to blast that T-32 to bits, and it looks like Silent Demise and Commander J want to try and take advantage of that. They are pushing forward, not to the flag, but towards Megumino.
Oh. That's, yeah, they are going to follow up A. Martin's position, and I believe Megumio is spotted again. Will he go down here in a moment?
Megumino whiffed his first shot, by the way, and Silent Demise able to get beautiful position up there.
But more importantly, on the hill,
cap, yeah.
this is King Kong here has engaged on White May. Oh, and alongside he's got Taka here. White May's going to go down.
Battle buddies rolling out, and down goes White May. That means the tier advantage is going to swing right into Cunningham's favor. Cunningham's now with hill control. Cunningham's on top of the cap of Strike. Strike is in an awful position. They can't move out to defend because they'll get lit up from the hill. And they can't move out to defend, so they're going to lose their flag.
Now, the one good thing they have going for them is the 5100s have terrible depression, so they can actually shoot down into those teammates. But they do have good coverage over on that flag. If anybody tries to contest flag, guess what? AMX 5100s will line up a beautiful shot.
Yep.
Well, 10 seconds left, and it doesn't look like anyone from Strike is going to be able to return to base. Knight's Armament, being the only person in any kind of distance to do it, is not going to move out, and there it goes.
Yep.
Victory for Cunninghams.
Well played, Cunninghams. They now lead 2-0 over Strike, and that was just slow, methodical, very patient play on Mind that led to an inevitable victory. And here we go again. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tanks, and we can see a familiar sight. IS-3s and 5100s, the lone difference being an extra IS-3 for the Cunninghams, an extra 5100 for Team Strike. And you know what's fun? Silent Demise does more damage in his IS-3 than he does in his 5100.
Interesting fact right there. And he does play an awesome IS-3. And I think Roddy's probably becoming an even bigger fan in the back over here. Yep, throwing up a fist in affirmation. He
loving already the movement that we're seeing out of the Cunninghams, taking an uncommon route, pushing forward and then entering down the EF line. And that's a great spot by Caster Starwind. He is going to go down, but not before confirming the location of every Tier 8 tank.
I feel like 100% of the time that scout run is not going to work out.
There's only one kind of there's only one way that scout run works, and that's on encounter mode of Ruinberg.
Yeah.
I think that scout run worked. He spotted him. He saw everybody.
You don't want to sue a scout. A scout's job is to stay alive as long as humanly possible and guarantee your team as much spotting as possible. If you guarantee your team spotting for all of 10 seconds and your team is not able to capitalize on that, you have wasted your time. It is not effective enough. I mean, if you were to verify they were on the other side of the map and you could go for cap at that point, I mean, that might be an instance in which the Swiss Scout is acceptable.
Well, I think had Cunninghams continued to aggress, that it would have been very worthwhile, but they have in fact stalled out, and now Strike is just going to sort of hold that corner around G3. And Cunninghams, I don't know what they're doing right now. They're holding this alley.
Yeah, this is actually a position in the map that used to be considered a key point for control. Actually, wow, okay, A. Martin on the other side of the map is taking on the two T1s. In the meantime, you'll be able to see how this controlling middle point might come into play, as these two T1s will aggress on A. Martin, but they may go down here in a moment because Commander J is able to respond to this promptly, and there goes Megumio, and there goes
I don't know,
Patton.
Ben.
What great play out of A. Martin there, managing to stay alive, and he will continue to be a force for his team in spite of the fact that he took a great deal of damage. Here comes Strike. They're going to push up the alley. Now, Ivan's taking a lot of damage, down to 494 hit points out of his 1,500, and soaks up 2 more shots, and that means he is dead.
Double tracked in that engagement. He did burn his kit, but it wasn't enough. He got tracked yet again, was not able to get the good sloped armor.
That is the worst feeling in the world, when you burn your kit only to be hit by another shot and tracked once more. Strike now in an unfortunately awful position, down I believe 9 tier points, and unable to really advance on their opponents.
So we should just see a big reload coming out from Cunningham, and then about 30 seconds more, and we're going to see a big push from them.
That, and I expect to see A. Martin going on to Strike's cap as Cunningham should begin an engagement. So the timing should be about, I'd say 30 seconds from now. We will see those tanks up in the north here begin to aggress on the remaining 4 heavies. But it looks like they, Borgata wants to start something here, as they will aggress on King Kong down the Sun corridor. I don't expect it to succeed, because guess what? Cunninghams are in a great position to react to this push.
Well, there's only one gun looking down this lane, and that is the gun of King Kong. Cunninghams, we can see on the minimap, are scrambling to get in position and react. And now once the Strike team comes around this corner, they are going to be open up to a lot of return fire. King Kong takes some heavy damage. He is going to go down to the focus fire of those autoloaders, but so too will Last Burnt. So too will White May. He's down to just 400 hit points, 99 hit points, and he is going to retreat around that corner, barely staying alive. Cunningham still enjoying that 9-point tier lead. A. Martin has, in the meantime, initiated cap, so Cunninghams is winning this fight on both fronts.
Although Trireme has gone down, so that is that is 2 IS-3s down for the Cunninghams. However, you have a 5100 and an IS-3 gone down for Strike.
But they have two IS-3s left, because Silent Demise is still alive, and
he's worth 2.
This kid, he makes that IS-3 work double time.
Borgata.
Ooh, he did aggress a little far, and Commander J is out on his flank along with Taka.
Okay.
He's barely going to escape out, but 35 seconds remain on the clock for the cap. And
I think that cap is going to get shut down. A. Martin has only seconds left. He has been spotted. He has...
Oh, White May does miss 1 shot, and second shot is going to connect there. A. Martin does go down, but guess what? Strike is very split up, and that will mean you will see Borgata go down.
Borgata goes down to Silent Demise, or does he?
That is Commander J.
Actually picked off Borgata, so good shooting there by Commander J. Silent Demise continuing to push forward and look for opportunities. White May, 1 hit from death. Knight's Armament can take
2 good hits.
2 maybe. 2 or 1 in a ram might actually be good enough.
From an IS-3, from Silent Demise, your hero. He could do it.
Hero.
Roddy's hero. He's sounding like your hero more and more.
I'm a bit of a nerve fanboy myself. But mad props to Silent Demise. He's been putting in some great work. He does see Knight's Armament, fires and misses. He must have really been trying to hit that bush, because...
Well, there's quite a bit of cover between them. There are a few destructible things. Oh, Knight's Armament barely dodging 1 shell as it streaks through that window. He is going to go for a hold-down position. Oh, and it looks like White May is getting some good shots, but...
But asking you shall receive. Both of them go down at the last second, the same second. The Cunninghams will 3-0 Strike, making them now 2-2 in the league. And I gotta say, I think that play was more exciting than they alluded to in the pregame interview. Very nicely done there by the Cunninghams. Convincing victory.